out.
I want to start with you on this one, Stephen A.
Oh, yeah.
And real talk here. Could this be the end of Russ as we know him, Russ the superstar?
It could be. He just hasn't been that impressive. Weeks ago, I heard him loud and clear when he alluded to the coaches. And he said, they got me all over the place. They tell me one thing and then they tell me another. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote. But that's along the lines of what he was saying. So that gave an indication that stuff they weren't on the same page. What really alarmed me last night, I said, hey, he hit 4 of his 6 3-point shots. That's an aberration because he's shooting 30% from three-point range. Okay? Even though he shot 5 of 17 from the field overall. He's averaging over 4 turnovers a game. That's not great. But here's the thing that really stood out for me, Monica. I'm watching it, and everybody was making a big deal about Karis LeVert blowing by him for that one play that ultimately led to him getting yanked and benched for, pretty much the remainder of the game. And then you read the story on ESPN.com, and it says the scouting report specifically said, keep him off his right hand. He wants to use his right hand and drive to the basket. Whatever you do, don't let him do that. Make him go to his left hand. And he obviously didn't do that. LeVert drives right by him and scores a basket, and that was a problem. So we get all of that. My bigger issue is this. If you read between the lines, so the coaching staff went to management. Management gave them the okay to do what you got to do. If you feel the need to bench Russ, you feel the need to bench Russ. That means it was something they were contemplating for weeks. It means it's something that's been incredibly alarming to them. And what it says to me is they don't think they can reach him any other way. Now, if you're Russell Westbrook, because the dude is strong-willed, firm belief in himself, does things his way, et cetera, et cetera. I'll tell you what I said to Jay Williams at the start of the show, Monica. Okay. Russell Westbrook, at the end of the day, has to start thinking legacy. Going to the Hall of Fame. We ain't doubting that. Kevin Durant was your teammate. James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, Victor Oladipo, Paul George, James Harden again, Bradley Beal, and now LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And I forgot Carmelo Anthony because he was in Oklahoma City with you. If you end your career with 0 championships, with all of those dudes as your teammates, that's a damn problem. And no one is going to deny that. You can't, with Russell Westbrook, you can't just look at this Lakers team. No one's going to do that when it comes to him. We might look at the Lakers, but when it comes to him, you're going to take into account all the opportunities that he had based on all the support he had and how it didn't pan out to you winning the chip. And that is ultimately what people are going to associate him with if stuff don't change.
The only way that we qualify success in this league is by championships. And so I agree with you there. The one pushback that I have for some of the heat that Russell Westbrook has earned to this point in this season is he is exactly who we thought he was. And to your point, does that mean he now needs to shift at this point in his career, or do the Lakers need to do a better job of acknowledging who he is? Everybody's up and down about his turnovers. He averages 4.2 on his career. Or at 4.1, excuse me. He's averaging 4.2 with the Lakers. And so this is not new behavior, right? The defensive plays last night, those were glaring. I agree with you because if anything, you can bank on Russ bringing the energy and the intensity, and he did not show up in that moment.
Never cheats with effort, never,
Right, but I also, and this may not be fair, Stephen A., and I mean this from the most respectful place, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. And to me, as much as we have talked about LeBron James and the numbers that he's putting up at this point in his career and his entire body of work, we have also heard a lot about him as a leader, right? And so if there was anybody in the league, and I understand Russ may be set in his ways, he may be stubborn, he is a ball of fire, hard to contain, but if there was anybody in the league, in my mind, that was poised to get through to him, whether it's LeBron, Vogel, Russ, behind closed doors, private conversations, if ever there was a superstar that I thought could do it, it would be LeBron James. And so, to me, I'm with you in that conversation or that press conference a couple weeks back when he said, I'm not quite sure of my role and kind of laughed. That was alarming because you can't bring a guy with his energy and just say go.
Well, let me say this to you. Here's where I would alter. I don't want to say disagree, but
okay.
I would give you a different perspective in this regard. LeBron James has to be held accountable for Russell Westbrook being in L.A.
That part?
Because you had an opportunity to get DeMar DeRozan. He wanted to come to L.A. Buddy Hield wanted to come to L.A. Russell Westbrook went to LeBron like, yo, man, I want to be here. So LeBron got AD to buy in, supposedly. They go to Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka. This is what we want to do. And if you Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, how you going to say no to LeBron James and Anthony Davis?
You don't.
You don't say no to them. You say yes to them.
Absolutely.
And so as a result of that, there's accountability there, not to mention LeBron is not a good basketball player. He's an all-time great. I think top 2, top 3. He's on a Mount Rushmore. Not to mention the fact he's a champion wherever he's going, Cleveland, Miami, L.A., not to mention the fact that he's been to 10 NBA Finals. And, oh, by the way, we don't call him a good basketball mind. We say brilliant. LeBron James is a basketball savant. He knows more than me and you and practically 100%. A lot of people combined. He's that brilliant. So knowing the game the way that you do and embracing Russell Westbrook, one would ask why, or what are you going to do about whatever flaws he might have. But we also can't escape the fact that Russell Westbrook has some culpability because Russell Westbrook is considered strong-willed in Oklahoma City, in Houston, in Washington, and now in L.A. And so when you look at it from that perspective, and remember, he's on the record last year, and I think this is the worst quote he ever gave, but I have an obligation to reiterate it. He said publicly, championships don't mean nothing to me. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.